Ciao Juventini, I'm Alberto, and I've got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus. We're going to take a look at Giuntoli'S work to date and what he has done and what he's been able to accomplish in this window and how we rank this window, okay? Then young guns are a big topic and headline circulating today as we have some contract extensions and a soon to be finalized deal for a next gen player, all right? Then we're going to take a look at all the Mercato rumblings about some of our players that could be leaving even in the last hours of the window, and of course a look ahead to Empoli with a couple of question marks in that lineup. All right, so let's get into it. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First off, we have a couple of birthday shoutouts that need to go out. First to the legendary Pavel Nedved himself, who turns 51 today. All right, he had 327 appearances, scoring 65 goals, 77 assists, won 6 trophies with Juventus, 4 Scudetti, 2 Supercopas, and of course a Ballon d'Or winner with us, and one of the legendary 5 who remained with us in 2006 and helped bring us back to Serie A. All right, forever grateful for that. And Pavel Nedved for me will always be one of the biggest what if questions I have circulating around Juventus, and it's essentially the what if he never received that booking and was able to play in that 2003 Champions League final. He no doubt was a game changer and a game breaker, and I always wonder what if he was in that lineup for us. And I'm going to ask the question to you, what ifs do you have circulating around ex-players, Juventus and whatnot, or just storylines that were around Juventus? What is your biggest what if for Juventus? And the other birthday shout out goes out to Simone Pepe. All right, he came in, was integral part of helping us through some transitional years as well, and had some great celebrations. Everybody loved the call swing and scored a great goal that we'll always remember on a chested down pass from Pirlo and a bike into the net. So auguri go out to him as well. Now Gatti, we're going to kick things off with contract extension talks. Gatti set to extend his contract. Juve ready to commit to him and lock him in. Szczesny and Rugani also set to extend their contracts, but that's going to be in order to help the team and lower the salaries and spread them out over that term. This doesn't, of course, lock them in and mean we can't move them. If anything, even with a guy like Szczesny who's on a high salary, this makes a potential move earlier if we want to look younger after and bringing them in easier to do so. So a good gesture from the players to Juventus as well, being willing to do that. So great stuff there. Houston has signed an extension for 5 years, all right, and he is still being expected to stay with the first team this season, and the reason they didn't get after a left-footed center back, all right. Yildiz also signed a contract extension at around noon Central European time today, all right, and I'm just waiting on the terms for the amount of years. He could be around the same of Houston. Luis Hassa also set a contract extension with Juventus to 2027, all right, so he had a lot of interest around him as well, especially after the European Championships and whatnot, and he is ready to lock in, and Juve is ready to lock him down. All right. Now, furthermore, with young guns, Juve is in advanced talks with Polish defensive midfielder Patrick Mazur. All right, and expected to sign with Juve before the window closes. Now, the bigger one is Comenencia. Comenencia is a Dutch fullback, all right, and he in 2021 was listed as one of the top 50 young players in the world, all right. He played a lot in the midfield and was actually quite strong there before moving to fullback, and he is going to be signed for somewhere around 3 million euros. He is already en route. Medicals should be done shortly, and that should be getting finalized. This will be one of the most expensive Juve next-gen signings that they have made. So, Levano Comenencia set to join, all right. Amrabat, there's been a lot of Juventini keep bringing up Amrabat in our daily update videos and whatnot. Well, Fiorentina, we're getting mixed reviews. One, that he is set to go out on a dry loan. Fiorentina would be open to a dry loan. And the other is totally contradicting it, saying they won't budge from 30 million euro price tag. So there you have it. We also have another report saying that Juventus has simply dropped the interest that they had in Amrabat, okay. Marco Piazza to Rijeka is final done deal. Juve potentially getting nothing out of it. It is what it is at this point. He is simply just somebody that we see showing up every summer and nothing more. And it will be weird seeing him not show up to Contenasa next summer. But there you go. The end has come for Marco Piazza. He is not on a fino alla fine contract, it appears. Kostic, watch for him and a sale. And Roma also drawn up some interest for the player. But Nico Schira is saying expect him to go to either a Prem team or a Bundesliga team if he even moves. But there are more and more rumblings about his entourage being unhappy in the fact he hasn't seen a single minute in the opening 2 matches. It's a bad sign for them. They're looking to get out. Again, a lot of interest around the player, but nothing with a definitive sale, and Juve wants a definitive final sale. They are not interested in moving him on a loan. The same goes for Illing Jr. Atalanta has a lot of interest, has been coming at Juve for the player, but it's loans involved. Juve will absolutely not move him with a loan involved. Furthermore, out of the players, Kostic is the one I believe they're getting shopped. So I actually feel that Illing just isn't going to move, period. Even if an offer comes in, it appears they want to move Kostic. All right. And as far as Bonucci goes, Lazio looking to wrap things up. However, they need to sell somebody on their end as well. They're waiting for that to get finalized. But it's also said that Juve just wants out of this scenario, that they could even just let Bonucci go for free. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, as far as the match coming up with Empoli, that's our next game. We've got a couple question marks. Of course, the fitness of Szczesny is being questioned, but Gatti, will he come in for Sandro? I think if you're going to ask everybody, it's going to be a resounding yes after an error by Sandro and really just struggling in general. And for me, Sandro, it's just any time that Bremer slightly is off or struggles a little bit, Sandro really gets exposed, and he can't bail us out or help us out in that scenario when Bremer is slightly off. So Bremer being slightly off against Bologna as well just added to this perfect storm, as Sandro looked brutal too, and we were just shaky in general. When you've got 2 out of 3 center backs not on, it's a recipe for some problems, and I think that's why Bologna looks so dangerous almost in every one of their attacks. So we got to shore it up. It is being reported that Max Allegri has been focusing the training on the defensive phase, all right, but we'll see what happens with Empoli. Got to get a victory there, okay, and then head into the international break. Of course, we'll be live for the match day preview, and I'll bring you a match day watch along as well. Now, last certainly not least, Giuntoli'S work in the Mercato so far being reported. He has helped drop the average age, okay, and the work in general that this team has been doing before Giuntoli has come in has dropped the average age somewhere around 2 years, okay, where we stood around just shy of 28 years. We are now just shy of 26 years of average age on the roster, and we have saved 70 million euros over the past couple months, all right? So I've been saying this throughout this Mercato as we get later on in our past couple podcast shows. People are looking at clubs around us and bringing in players, strengthening their team and everything like that. But for us, we knew where we stood financially. And I will say this, if you're going to rate this Mercato and it isn't somewhere around 6.5 to 7 where I scored it, I would have to disagree if you've given it a weaker score, because the finances was always what was driving this Mercato. The fact that we could come out of it and keep Vlahovic, Bremer, Chiesa, and remain the roster largely the same, adding a piece like Timothy Weah, even if it's the only addition. This is a big, big success and a massive move in terms of the cleanup that needs to happen before we can start taking action and being on the front foot in future Mercatos. So for me, this was a win. But you guys know the drill. What does it mean for you? Where do you think this Mercato rates? All right, so drop it in the comment section. Drop it all your thoughts on all the news I brought to you today, and let's mix it up. As always, that is my absolute favorite part. Do not forget to please like the video, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed, and stay tuned for all the upcoming action that we're going to bring you tomorrow. Call-in show, all right? It's your chance to join us live for a call-in show, okay? We're going to give you the WhatsApp number. Comes directly to me. All you got to do is text in that you want to join, and we'll have you join us in part. Okay, that's going to happen around 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll keep you posted if anything changes, but right now we're planning for a live call-in show tomorrow. As always, everybody, fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.